Hello and howdy, everyone. A couple days ago, I watched the newest Peter Jackson film, The Hobbit. What is it called? An Unexpected Journey. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it an 8. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't see this in the theater. This is my first viewing. I didn't see it in the theater, and I regret that now. Especially since I say you should see everything in the theater, no matter what. I did not see this in the theater because I have no, special love for Peter Jackson. I am not a fanboy of Tolkien's. I've never read any of his works. In terms of Peter Jackson, I really like his early stuff. I thought the Lord of the Rings trilogy was amazing and a feat, but, it didn't, amaze me. I wasn't, again, I just wasn't a fanboy. I appreciated it, but I just didn't get into it, I didn't get into it. I think I may have enjoyed this film more than any of the Lord of the Rings films, which is interesting. I decided not to see this because, I wanted to mention that I love Peter Jackson's early works. Wow, well now it just slipped my mind. Bad Taste. I was about to say Bad Brains, but Bad Taste and something else, Dead Alive. Those two films, the first Peter Jackson film I saw was The Frighteners, which I also enjoy. So I enjoy his earlier work. I guess you could say his hungrier work more. King Kong disappointed me. I was bored with King Kong, and I thought there's no way I should be bored watching King Kong. And I was. And to this day, I still can't watch most of that, Anyway, that's my thoughts in general for Peter Jackson. I think I enjoyed this film a lot more than any of the other Lord of the Rings films. The only thing I knew about it, again, I've never read any of Tolkien's work. I knew that The Hobbit was a prequel. It was a prequel, and I knew that it was the shortest book in the Lord of the Rings, family. I'm pretty sure that that it's the shortest book, and I was amazed that he was taking the shortest book and making it into 3 movies. And I just thought, well, this is just going to be for fanboys only. I don't need to, go see this. It's just going to be long and probably not too exciting. So I just never felt the desire to see it. Even that Peter Jackson, and I don't know too much about it. It's all very technical, but he shot this using a higher frame rate, and it does make it look different. Apparently on the big screen, it made it seem a little bit, you'd have to get used to it. I just didn't see it, even though I probably should have. I really enjoyed this, and I think that having low expectations really helps out, just because I didn't think I would like it. I just, I had no desire to see it, and then I was pleasantly surprised that I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I think it helps out, low expectations, that is. I thought it was deliberately paced. It's a 2 hours and 45 minutes. Maybe 2 hours 40 minutes. That's a long movie. The first hour is, setting up a giant story, so there's a lot of exposition, a lot of talking. If my mind wandered any, it was during this time. But I'd say that, as the story gets going, as a greater whole, you get wrapped up into it and you get sucked in. As well as the third act is dominated by Gollum, Smeagol, played by Andy Serkis in his motion capture, suit. Gollum looks amazing. You know, when he's on the screen, it becomes something else almost. It's just really kind of just a sight to behold. It really kind of looked like Andy Serkis. I can't even describe it really. It looked like a cartoon Andy Serkis, but yet real. Again, it was just bizarre. I think that all the special effects in the film are really good, as you would expect, but something about the Gollum effect, I think they put even more time and money into that than any other thing, and I think you can really tell, because he looks like he's there, and I know that he's not. I mean, I know that it's just a guy, albeit a very talented guy, in a blue suit with, balls all over it. So it's really quite amazing. It's quite amazing. As soon as Gollum shows up, it just totally changes. It just changes. All the acting is really good. Everything visual, is, I mean, shouldn't even have to talk about it. It looks fantastic. It's beautiful production design, great costuming, great makeup. Anything visually technical or visual technically is, A+. It's the best that Hollywood has to offer. So, visually, you are taken into this world. The music is good. I can't say that it stood out in my mind. All the acting is really good. You've got Martin Freeman. You've got Ian McKellen. Let's see, who else we got here? Richard Armitage, James Nesbitt, Ken Slott, and all of your returning favorites. Kate Blanchett, Ian Holm, Christopher Lee, Hugo Weaving, Elijah Wood, and Andy Serkis. All of the acting is really good. They get to play kind of iconic characters. Some of these actors have, spent years in the skin of these characters. I think all the new dwarves, all the new characters we meet are good. That's just what's fascinating about it. And that it kind of makes me want to read the books. It's just Tolkien. That's by far the biggest, amazement here is just how rich the story is. And I think that's what's, so good about Peter Jackson breaking this into three movies. I mean, you can really, this is a very obviously rich and detailed story. Tolkien created an entire world. And that world is rich and can be explored, and you get that sense, you get that feeling from watching this film. I think even more so than any of the Lord of the Rings films. That's kind of why I enjoyed it more, is because it's slower. I kind of want Peter Jackson to go back and make 3 films out of every Lord of the Rings book. Why not do that in the first place? I guess probably because he didn't have the power to do that. But, I think he should just spend the rest of his career in Middle-earth and go back, make each of the Lord of the Rings film 3 movies, and really, tell the story. I don't think anyone would complain. I guess probably he would, by getting sick of Middle-earth after spending his entire career there, but, why not? I think the Lord of the Rings trilogy, deserves to be 9 movies after seeing this, especially if The Hobbit is going to be 3 movies. Why not, The Two Towers? The Two Towers could definitely be 3 movies, I'm for sure of it. I don't know what else to say. I guess the reason I'm not giving it any higher than an 8 is just trying to get going. I don't really know why I can't. I mean, maybe I could give it a 9. Just something there. I do own all of the I own the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't own the director's cut. I own the theatrical cut. I guess I would buy this, which means it's probably a 9. I don't really buy anything that is under an 8. I would give an 8, a 7 if it's an emotional 7, I suppose. But I don't know. I enjoyed the film definitely a lot more than I thought I would. It looks gorgeous, and it, even though it's over 2.5 hours long, it doesn't have, too much pacing problems. The first hour, I guess, is a little slow, but I can, realize that it's because it's setting up a ginormous adventure, so I can, bear with it. Just looks gorgeous, is fun. It's swift moving. I don't know what else to say. I think that kind of wraps it up. Yeah, sure. Anything else would just be repetitive, I feel. But it's a good watch. And I could probably give it a 9. I definitely wish I had seen it in the theater. Maybe not in 3D, but I wish I could have seen it in that higher frame rate just to get the experience. I do regret not seeing this in the theater. I probably, if I saw this in the theater, I can probably guess that I would give it a 9. It would be a tremendous theatrical experience. But I didn't do it. So I'll just give this an 8 and pretty much know that if I ever saw this on the big screen, that it would be, fantastic. And most likely a 9. So there you go. That's the first film of the Hobbit trilogy, An Unexpected Journey. Thank you much.